want to buy this 2018 up to today Range Rover Velar. It's the same body, but the problems remaining till today. What are you going to check before you buy it? It's all simple. You're going to check it yourself. You don't need any mechanics review. You're just going to pay attention and watch this video. So top 5 things you're going to check it before you buy it. Number 1, that's the body of the car. To check the body, I'm going to tell you why. You have to turn the steering wheel all the way to the left or to the right. Let's go on the body panels. We're checking the body panels. We're making sure they're all even. The gaps are remaining cool, same as the factory. The piece is not broken. And the gaps are still good. So basically it's going to give you huge peace of mind. Should you keep going and checking the car, or should you just step away and find the other one? Why I turn the steering wheel? I turn the steering wheel to see the tires, to see if they're not worn out on the side, so means suspension not damaged, and the tires remaining even. So number 2, that's going to be your engine and transmission. A lot of things you can see under the hood before you buy the car. Again, if you have OBD scanner, you can check this car for different codes, if they present or not. All the Range Rover Velar with 2.0 engine, they have a common problem with turbo and the timing chain. Like this car has a huge problem with timing chain. Basically, I have to pull the engine out and replace it. And the timing chain on this car, they sitting on the back of the engine, so there is no way you can replace the chain without removing the engine. Again, when you open the hood, you're gonna hear it, how the engine working. Is it kind of misfiring? It's doing any kind of weird stuff, noises, or it's not. And on the top of that, you can see if it's leaking oil, if it's leaking coolant, or it smells like oil leak, or it smells like coolant leak. So for the coolant leak, it's the most common problem. Like this car again, this hose got replaced yesterday because it was cracked. All the small hoses, the plastic hoses, over the year, they drying out, and it's easy to break. Whatever maintenance you're doing, or you just simply checking the oil in the morning, you might gonna touch this hose and it's gonna break apart. Make sure the hoses all connected and they all in great shape, not leaking, because they are costly. So each hose, it's about $100, and you can buy it only from the dealer. Why you need to spend that money if somebody else can spend it for you? So number 2, we're gonna take it for a test drive and see how the transmission shifting, if it's jumping or not, if it's delaying or not, because Range Rover, it's the most known for the transmission and engine problems. Engine problems, right now this car has 49,000 miles and the timing chain is off. So basically there is a multiply codes for all kind of things, but the main one, it was a timing related correlation. So basically the camshaft, exhaust and intake, they not aligned. And they not aligned because of what? You're right, because the timing chain jumped, or maybe one of the guides got broken, or one of the pin got broken and the chain not aligned right now. It's a huge job. It's gonna cost me a lot of money, and this car has only 49,000 miles. That's why I bought it. A low mileage, beautiful car, nice looking, no problem on the history, no accidents, clean title, 1 owner, but 49,000 miles, car out of warranty, dealer not gonna cover it, and I'm gonna pay from my pocket a lot of money. So that's gonna be related to the engine problem. Make sure there is no codes, no pending code, permanent or something else. Make sure all the monitors they set, means the car is ready for smoke check and nothing gonna comes up right away after you're gonna buy the car. So number 3, let's go about electrical issue. What's the Range Rover common problem? It is a multimedia system, number 1. Number 2, all the buttons and controllers. So for example, the steering wheel, we have a lot of different switches. Sometimes they not light up and they not working because it's kind of touchpad. We have a button actually, but same time it is a touchpad. And if the clock spring going bad, those lights not gonna be on. Somebody might gonna say it's a simple thing, you have to just unplug it and plug it, but no, it's not. The clock spring going bad, you have to buy the part itself, about $250. You have to pay money to replace it, maybe 100, maybe 150. And If it needs reprogramming or something else, you're gonna pay extra. Do you need that? Not really. So make sure you check it. All the buttons light up, all the functions are working properly. The touch screens, we have two of them on the Velar, the main one and the main one. They're all main, but they are on a different level functions. So here we have a lot of things to do with the car. You can do off-road, you can drive it on eco mode. All the Range Rovers, Velars, they all will drive cars. So play with that, make sure all the functions working properly. You have your navigation, you have your camera, and all kind of other things. It's all working. On the main screen, exactly the same. Seats heated, they're not cooled. Climate control, AC is working and it's blowing cold. After that, go to the seats. Make sure they're all moving, working properly. Make sure the switches working and your windows going up and down. It's easy to check, but a lot of times people not paying attention on that. Why? I have no idea. Your mirrors, make sure they're all folding, because if they're not, especially on the Range Rover, you're gonna pay about $450, maybe $500 for the used mirror. So on this car we got beautiful moonroof and it's a panoramic roof. But what's the most common problem? That's the sunshade cover. Make sure it's all working, opening, closing with no noises, and the glass itself working too. It's opening all the way and not making any noise, because especially on the Range Rover it is super costly to fix it. If you have to replace the sunshade, you have to buy it separate, maybe about $250, and to pay for the labor about $300, because you have to drop the whole headliner to get to that point. Number 4, the common issue with Range Rover inside the car, that's the wear and tear, basically quality, leather and the paint. You're gonna see a lot of that things inside the car. Even this car has 49,000 miles. I'm gonna step out right now. You're gonna see the driver's seat, the leather, the paint on the leather already worn out. So you have to do something. You have to take it to a upholstery shop who's gonna repaint the seat. It might gonna be enough for next half year or 1 year, but that's it. Other than that, is the car making a lot of noise when you're driving it? Kinda, because the plastic, it's so hard. So next thing you have to check all the pockets. Make sure they're all working, opening. Make sure the button right here is working. Because again, it's gonna cost money to fix it. It's simple thing, but if it's stuck, it's gonna be annoying. And you have to spend money on it. Why you have to spend money on it if you can check it before? And most of the time when you buy the car from the dealer, you can ask the dealer to replace it before you're gonna buy it. So basically that's gonna be deal breaker. Fix me that and I'm gonna get it. If you're not gonna fix it, I'm not gonna get it. Simple as that. So as always, make sure to check the car to make sure it's a clean title, not the salvage. Make sure you have a history of the car. If you got, especially for Range Rover, service records, that's gonna help a lot, because you can see, you can track what's been changed or what's not. On the top of that, don't forget to take that VIN number and put it in a Google, because you might gonna find a lot of cool information about this car if it's been totaled or stolen or something else.